Hello everyone, my name is Riley and this is RDW Glass, a YouTube channel dedicated to teaching people how to glass blow. Now if you're a glass enthusiast or a beginner glass artist or a glass artist in general, please make sure you're subscribing to the channel and pressing the like button if you're liking the content that you're seeing. I have an Instagram account, it's RDW_glass, and that is where we post daily content that is glass blowing related or related to what I'm doing, which sometimes it's in the garden, most of the time it's in the glass shop. Alright, we have a website. It's rdw-glass.com. That's where we have a lot of our art posted for sale, and I'm trying to get the rest of the stuff that I have created and put to the side, pictures taken of that stuff, and then posted onto the website. That way all of the available glass is actually available to purchase. If you direct message me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram, I will happily show you my inventory. That way we can make a deal and you can get some of my glass in your hands. Alright, today we're going to be creating a 3-hole slide. Something that I love creating is sliders, bowls, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create the 3-hole bowl. Now let's get into it. This is what you're going to be needing today. So you need 2 punties. I have a big one and I have a 6mm punty and a 3mm punty. We have a 12mm blow tube. We have a graphite pad. We have our joint holder. Now today we're using an 18mm joint, so we'll be using the 18mm joint holder. You need a reamer. You need a color if you're going to do your bowl in color. We have light blue stardust and atomic blue stardust. Our bowl is going to be light blue stardust, and our lip wrap will be atomic blue stardust, which is a deep blue stardust with UV in it. You need an 18mm joint if you're going to be creating an 18mm bowl. This reamer is a different size than this one, so it's good to have a little bit of a variety when you're working. I have these push-out tweezers, and when you do that, I use these to create the holes for my slider. So we'll be doing that 3-hole, and this is what we'll use for the screen that will be the 3-hole screen. Alright? So this is what you need, and you have to have a heat pad, that way you can pull your slider out of here. Alright, so what I did is I coil potted some of the light blue stardust onto a 12mm rod. You can see that. Oh, that's not the one. I'm gonna put the camera. So we have light blue stardust coil potted right here on a 12mm rod. So doing this takes away this. So now we used our 12mm rod and we used our light blue stardust. Alright. This sits in the kiln. The kiln sits at 1055 degrees. Alright, 1050 degrees is what you want your kiln sitting at. Mine sits a little bit higher because when I open it, you know, it loses heat, and I want to make sure that it doesn't lose that much heat. Alright. Now, put these all up here, that way you can see how we use them individually. Alright, this will be like the last thing we use, other than that. So now we need our 18mm joint holder, our 18mm joint. Put that in there, nice and tight. Alright, put that to the side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut the 18mm joint with our flame right about there, and then we're going to use this to draw our 3-hole screen. We're going to use this to make sure that our holes are even. Then we're going to take the coil pot out of the kiln, attach it to this joint, use these two to create a perfect shape of the bowl, including this to keep the top flat. Then we'll do the blue or atomic blue stardust lip wrap. The reason the punties come into play is to help with the flame cutting. All of that's about to come together. I just wanted to make sure you had a good idea of what was about to happen. Now let's do it. Alright. Stepped away for a second for some hydration. don't know if you guys have ever tried the Icy Charge one, but this is my favorite Gatorade. All right, let's do it. Now we'll use our punty to open this up. I don't want the screen to sit up that high, so I'm using the punty to also peel back material as we get closer to the joint. I know exactly how far I want my screen from the top of that 18mm joint. Here. You need a dish of water. I think that was the last thing I forgot to describe you needing. You don't really need that. You can pull off the glass and just leave it on the punty, but that's dirty. Now let's use our smaller reamer to get this open. Let's use our graphite pad to compress the top. Let's use our bigger reamer to evenly press in. Now we have a perfectly open hole. Alright, now our next step is to take this and begin our screening process. I'm going to pull my chair up, that way I can get, oh, there goes the chair. Precise. Perfect. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Kind of want to make like a peace sign in there. Alright? And I'm going to take this and fill in right here. Right here and right here. Okay. And we're going to use the flame to condense the glass. Use this to pull it up. Oops. So I put this in here to pull the screen up a little bit. And I'm going to melt it all together. Now that we have those 3 even holes, we are done with this. We're done with this. Now I'm going to get this a little hot. Pretty much perfectly synchronized 3 holes. We're going to get the coil pot hot at the same time as the joints in the background, and we're going to stick it on there. What you're going to see is me melt this end off. Pull it, twist, done. Now we're done completely with the 12mm rod. What we're doing is heating up very close to the joint. That way we can get a nice connection there. I'm going to pump air into the joint holder. I love creating sliders. Glass blowing is very fun, and then creating something that people will use almost every day makes it even better. Alright. Once we have like a nice smooth section and you can kind of see through the hot glass that it looks pretty even on the inside too, we've smoothed it out. Puffed a little more air, and I am going to take that smaller punty at 3mm, and I'm just going to pull to break this top open. Now that we have that top open, remember our big reamer can't fit in there right now, so we take the small one, open the edges. You can see our 3 holes still looks perfect in there. Everything's intact. Remember, when you get glass hot, it condenses, so that's what we want. This is a little thin right now, so we want to condense it while keeping an even wall thickness. Now there's 2 ways to do a lip wrap. We'll do a video on both. Today we're just going to be using a simple melt-in method. This video was based on how to do the 3-hole, but it's how to do a 3-hole slider, so I felt like I should go through the whole process of completing the slider. That way you guys know what tools to use. Oh wow, look at that 3-hole. With that twisted cane is beautiful in there. Looks like a face. I like that. It's funny looking. This will have the perfect airflow for somebody too. There's people who prefer each hole size, you know, like I prefer the 4-hole. Some people prefer the single hole, the 2-hole, and there's a big group of people who prefer the 3-hole. So as a glass artist, it's good to make sure that people have the ability to buy the variety from you. Alright, now that I got a nice thick lip there, I'm going to take that blue stardust, the atomic blue stardust we talked about, and I'm just going to wrap it around the edge. Coil potting, probably doing like a 2-coil. Yep, I did a 3-coil, but that's okay. So now we've used that. I think we've used everything we said we needed to use other than our heat pad. I'm gonna make this a flared out slide rather than one that's kind of, we're gonna make it look like more of a cone. By just simply angling our reamer out, we can get a nice wide bowl here. Oh, that's awesome. How to create a 3-hole slide? That's how you do it. Last but not least, we need this. Comes right out. We take our tweezers. Forgot to say we need tweezers. Take the tweezers. Put that bad boy in the back of the kiln, and now we have created a 3-hole slide. I hope that this helped beginning glass artists or glass artists who've been creating some stuff and they wanted to step into sliders. That is how you create a 3-hole slider. Now every so often I'll pop out a new video about like, okay, now this is how you do this many holes. And today was the day where we did the 3-hole. It's sat in there, it's basically at the temperature it needs to be. I'm going to pull it out one more time, that way we can observe it. Camera. Pretty beautiful. Alright. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you watching these videos. Here's the support board. A thank you for your support. That's that glass website. That's our glass website I was speaking on earlier, and our Instagram account that I was speaking on earlier. Please be sure to check both those out, and be pressing the like button on these videos if you're liking what you're watching, and subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content. Alright everyone, have a great rest of your day, great rest of the week. Happy melting. I'll see you back here next Tuesday. We post videos every single Tuesday. Peace. Happy melting.